I'm Taylor Barr, your midnight DJ. That was I've Been High by REM. I'm Taylor Barr, your midnight DJ. And I sold all my collectible coins a few years ago and have been saving up. Finally, I've saved up enough to buy them back. I only have one small issue. I don't remember who I sold all my coins to, and I certainly don't know where they are now. If anyone has bought a coin from me in the past 5 years, I would like to discuss business with you. Big business things need to happen in order for me to get my coins back. I'm willing to pay double what I sold them for, I swear. I need these coins back desperately. I've been toying with this new kind of magic, and to do it, I need some really old coins with sentimental attachment that I have no current possession of. So this fits the bill. But I don't know where they are, so just let me know. Listen, I know you're not going to give up your coins that easily. I understand, especially not with me doing some magic because of it. I know you. You want some benefit from this magic too. Okay. Alright, I can work with that, yeah. It's a pretty complex spell that makes me find more money, so you can have a little bit of the spell too. I'll help you out if you help me, you know. I know how this works. Is that not enough? You're kidding me. Okay, well, don't go telling people that I'm giving you magic, alright? I'll get in some big trouble for this, okay? Okay, what about I pay you double and a peck on the cheek? Come on, I really need those coins. Up next, Officer of Love by Camp. And after that, In a Daydream by Freddie Jones Band. That was Trampoline by Shade. I'm Taylor Barr, your midnight DJ. And the press surrounded the lab. They held microphones and notepads. They pushed and shoved to get closer to the barrier that had been hastily assembled. They were shouting questions to no one. The podium was empty. Who is responsible? Where did it come from? What's its deal anyway, right? The words fell against concrete and stayed there. Being good reporters, they asked new questions, trying to trip up the questioned, trying to frazzle them, get in their head, and get them to tell awful secrets. The podium did not seem to mind. Suddenly, the front door swung open, revealing behind it a woman in a lab coat. The entrance was silent. No more questions. All right. I know that there's a lot of mystery surrounding what's going on. She spoke with a clearness that only someone who had years of experience speaking to the press and collecting data from those experiences could. There's a lot of science going on in there, all right? We need it quiet so that we can focus. Right now, you're really distracting us from the big issues. She let out a small sigh, relief from her exasperation. We appreciate your interest in science, we really do, but we can't explain everything right now, and we really don't want to. Did you know there's 1,000 meteors striking Earth every day? Luckily, they burn up in the atmosphere for the most part, but come on, that's crazy, right? Anyway, get off our lawn, etc. The reporters grumbled, turning to each other, fighting the urge to maul the others. They dispersed without too much complaint, though. Up next, Selling the Drama by Live, and after that, Photograph by Jamie Cullum. You just heard Afterglow by Ed Sheeran. I'm Taylor Barr, your midnight DJ. And a ritual has been performed. Nothing we say or do can stop it now. It has already happened. It was a ritual to separate something. It's a very simple ritual, honestly. A circle of red, however you decide to obtain it, must be laid on the ground. Then you say the things and do the movements. Presto changeo, there you did magic. For something simple, like forgetting a loved one or removing a certain memory, very little energy is needed. At most, you might need to focus for 30 minutes. But this one was powerful, folks. It's been charging for days. It was performed by 13 people. In the dead of night, they met at their circle. It was 10 feet across, formed from meat. The circle had been there for days, charging up, and so it was starting to rot. The figures, draped in red hoods, took their places, forming a tridecagram, and let loose the cloth. The robes fell to the earth, dirtying themselves on the meat. The people said their lines, and did the movements, and it separated something fantastic. They snipped the connection from the earth to the moon. As soon as they did, it shrank. The moon grew smaller. It was falling further and further away. The weather is in a tizzy. Please stop trying to do crazy magic, folks. It's really not helpful. Up next, Disease by Matchbox 20. And after that, Skin and Bones by Cage the Elephant. You just heard Let Love Rule by Lenny Kravitz. I'm Taylor Barr, your midnight DJ. And Grognor the Giant choked on a bit of meat stuck in his throat. He hacked with the strength of a steel drum. He beat his chest, and it was like a truck had run headfirst into a brick wall. He felt very little. Because of the mass cube law, he was truly monstrous. A beast this tall would have to eat several tons of material a day. A thing that could touch the heavens like that could only exist in extreme conditions. They are wildly strong. Grognor was a shorter giant, only 200 feet tall, barely taller than the tallest trees, and he was ashamed to be seen outside of his lake. Giants tend to live near lakes because of the access to fresh water and also the relief to joints that sitting in a large tub can provide. And he was in the lake, near the shore, snacking on a few horses. Wild, don't worry, he was no thief. Not that anyone in their right mind would dare attack a giant, even a short one. Grognor had the ribcage of the equestrian equivalent of Beyoncé, that is to say, a beautiful and strong female horse. He had no concept of horse beauty, though, and went ahead on eating it. He noticed a few more wild animals near the tree line, so he sat up, knees to his chest, and reached for the creatures. Grognor was quick for his size. He had a max speed of about 40 miles per hour, and his snatching ability was unmatched. He grabbed for the animals, but they were gone. He was fast, but they were smaller and easier to lose in the bushes. Up next, Deep End by Foshi, and after that, Island in the Sun by Weezer. You just heard Not Dead Yet by Lord Huron. I'm Taylor Barr, your midnight DJ. And a small jellyfish had a hold of something frantic. A couple of anchovies had swimmen into the plastic bag of an animal and had been caught rather dramatically. The jellyfish did nothing to change the situation because that's not what jellyfish did. The fish had other ideas, though. They wriggled and wormed their way around the jelly. Its body gave in when pushed. It gave too much. Their aggressive motions were met with a tangle of body and appendage. It was like climbing out of a pool with no arms and also no ladder, and also the pool is full of beach balls. The anchovies could not escape. They could not move. They could not breathe, and so succumbed to their fate. They accepted that this was not the best decision, swimming up close to a jellyfish, so close that they could be stuck. The anchovies thought about their decisions, how they had disappointed not only everyone else in their lives, but themselves. They wriggled again, to no avail. The anchovies thought about how their parents had always told them to stay away from everything all the time. The one time they decide to do something fun and weird, they get caught up. They get eaten. The anchovies thought about school, how they never paid attention in class, how the lecture they had just skipped out on was the dangers of jellyfish. The anchovies gave one last struggle before giving in, giving up to the jellyfish. Up next, Disneyland by Dada. And after that, Unsteady by ex-ambassadors. But before I let you go, it's midnight. Come on. So I gotta let you go. It's the end of my shift. No worries. I'll be back tomorrow. And hey, today was a pretty good day. Tomorrow will be even better.